with Eddie and Ralph, your live help and solution center for YouTube and related tech. Please come in and enjoy the demonstration. Ask any questions you have about the demonstration or any tech-related question. We are here to help you and do this to help you. No question is dumb, and we will do what we can to keep it simple. Thank you. We will be starting soon.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
You're here. Buddy. We're here, I think.
I'm here. I don't know where you are, but I'm here.
Oh, that was loud. I turned my speaker down. That's why.
All right. Hope everybody can hear us. We had a little technical difficulty at the beginning there.
All right. We have in the chat, Arlene, thanks for coming in. Belt Loop 29, Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline, Devil Dogs Keeper, Jody Genealogy, Judy May Collins, Peter Old Man King Homestead, The Hen House, and Simon at Yes I Can Barbecue. I want to thank everybody for coming in. There'll probably be some, and there's some more. Trolling Eddie since 2023 Junior. I think that's it for now. Tim Mitchell, they keep popping in, so give it a few and it'll settle down
there. Yeah. Everybody jump in when they get time.
I hope everybody had a good week. I have a few things to say real quick. Today is, I want to wish everybody a safe Valentine's Day coming up next week, a week from today. Today is my and Jamie's 28th year anniversary. So I've already told her happy anniversary. So that's one thing that's going on is today's our 28th year anniversary. She's put up with me for about 30 years now. Because we've been married for 28. Thank you, Jan. And then Ura Kent, Daddy Does Barbecues in here, and Simply Jan Homestead, Peaceful Des, Timmy Mitchell. Let's see, Eddie, your volume is down. Yes. See, that's the thing. They tell me one time I'm too loud, then they tell me another time quiet. And so
yeah, you seem to be fading in and out.
Okay, is that better?
Now you're good.
Is that too loud? Is that better? See,
That's good.
I hate
That's
I
good
hate
for me. I can hear you fine there.
I hate messing with it because turn it up. Uh Ralph, you may as well just take over. Well, Ralph don't have to say what I have to say, Gary.
I,
He can't read my mind. And hoorah, Desert Living, thanks for coming in. Congratulations, Jerry, on the win. That is awesome. uh just to let y'all know, if I would have won that, I was gonna donate it to Gary or Jerry, one of the two. It's kind of flip a coin, flip a double dog coin for that. But Ralph is the sensei. Uh anyways, something else. I think I mentioned this last week. Um we had our Jeep took a dump on us. We had either blown head gaskets or cracked head. Okay. So we had to get something because Andrew has taken off all week because his car's been. Thank you very much, Jan. I appreciate that. You know that'll go to Jamie. uh, but so, anyways, our Jeep took a crap on us, and our son's car was broke down, and he's been trying to fix it, but he can't get the tool. Well, he's had like he went to AutoZone, rented a tool, to fix it, tried to get it off, can't get the tool, and then he it wouldn't work, so he ordered a tool, and it bent as soon as he tried getting the ball joint off or whatever. So he's ordered another one. It's supposed to be in tomorrow. So he hasn't worked all week, and so yesterday, thanks to a friend of ours, uh, we were able to go get a. It's an older vehicle. It's a ain't got 200,000 miles on it. It's got about 170,000 on it. So it's an older vehicle. But we got a kind of a truck to be able to go get feed and hay and stuff like that. It's a Nissan Titan 2005. And it seemed to be in pretty good shape. I checked it out pretty dang good and everything. Well, it ran for like an hour and 30 minutes from where I picked it up to here. No issues whatsoever. And I checked all the fluids except the transmission fluid. I forgot to check that. I was going to check it and then I forgot. But all the other fluids were good and stuff. Brand new radiator in it. Looked up under it, didn't see any leaks or anything like that. And Ralph is just finding out about this too. So I we go show it to Daryl. We go show it to T Rock Vittles and such. And then whenever Mr. Get It Right, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. So when we get on the way home from Roberts, it starts making a horrible squealing noise and everything else. And it's dark by that time because this is after I got off work. I went down there and got it and stuff. And so then we get home. Me and Andrew check it out, and the idler tensioner pulley is not moving. So we ordered that. It's supposed to come in tomorrow. We ordered a new serpentine belt, but other than that, hopefully it'll be fine. Hello, Misha. Misha Bless. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. So that's what's happening with us. Hold on. Jamie said, wait a second. Oh, one other thing. Yeah. It's like you're fading in and out. Okay, I don't know why I'd be. I'm just letting you know. Okay, I don't know why I'd be fading in and out. I can turn up my gain, then people's gonna tell me it's too loud.
yeah, when you're like where you're sitting now, where you're leaning in,
Yeah.
I can hear you fine. It's when you were leaning back that it's like it's become very sensitive to how close you are to the mic.
I don't know what to tell you, Gary. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking here. Okay, just to let everybody know though that has orders or winnings or whatever else, it should go out Monday, I believe Jamie said. So I'm done. Ralph, take over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it didn't ever seem to be that sensitive to it. You used to be able to move around. I don't know. Is it sitting somewhere different since you redid your room or?
Yeah, it's
Something like
right.
that.
It's right in front of me, right here.
Ah,
I took it off the stand, the swing arm, because this desk is smaller, and if I move it or whatever too much, I don't want it to hit the monitor, the arm. So I took it off the arm and put it on this stand.
okay, but wait, hold that up. Hold it up again. Okay, you need to have the dials pointed towards you.
They are. The
Okay.
mute button is towards me, and the
Okay.
the
When you
volume.
held it up, it was
See,
pointing towards the
this
camera, which is away from you.
this is
right?
what's towards me, okay?
Right.
And then this is what's away from me, and this is the gain up top. And
Right.
then see, this is the
Okay.
gain. And then this right here is the one that adjusts the direction of the mic. These
Okay.
knobs. See, hold on. It's a pain
Yeah.
to turn, but this is
Yeah, no, it's cool.
this is what
It just
turns
looked like,
one way or the other.
it just looked
So,
like when you held it up that you had it pointed away from your mouth.
so I don't know.
I don't either.
Maybe I'll talk right into it.
Yeah. You're sure when you moved it around that you didn't change that dial on the back?
No, I don't think so. I just
Okay.
flipped it like 3 times though.
Okay.
Because it like
'Cause I-
one has one way, one has the other way, one has all directions.
Right.
There's like
Yeah, because that will change how sensitive it is and what, in what direction it picks up the best and stuff. So, and I don't remember what all the little symbols mean.
yeah, I think it's on both directions right now. 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Maybe that's both directions. I don't know. There's different. There's a pattern, and there's 4 different directions, and I don't know which
Yeah,
is
and I don't-
which.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have to look it up, I guess.
Anyway,
So I'm done. Oh yeah,
it's always something.
yeah. I hate sound. How many times I got to tell you that? Rob BFW. And Bug, what's up?
Yeah, it can be a pain.
All right, we have
Anyway.
27 people in here. Turning it over to Ralph, and Ralph will tell
All
you
right.
about the new thing with Evmux too.
Yeah, I'll do that first. Just I guess when Eddie saw it this morning, and then I saw it this afternoon when I was getting in to mess around, you can pop the chat out now. You can't dock it anywhere, but you can pop it out just like you can in YouTube. You can pop the chat out and move it over onto a separate monitor or something like that. So at least you can pop your chat out, have it off on the side, and still get at your layers. So it's a start, okay? So
Me and Ralph put in a ticket for that a while back. These
Yep.
people are very, very. They listen, and they try to accommodate you on what you need.
yeah, popping out a little window like this may sound like something easy to do, and on the surface it is, but that's working with your user interface, your UI, and you have to make that UI work across every PC and every phone and everything else that you're using. So while it sounds simple, it's a highly difficult task. So they really do listen and try to put in things that people want. So they're really good about that. So what I was going to go over tonight was just a little thing in Davinci about how to get rid of green screens very easily, and this will work in both the studio and the free version. And there's 2 or 3 different ways to do this. Before I get started, if I seem a little bit more fidgety than I normally am, I slipped and hurt my hip when we had our ice storm a couple weeks ago, and I'm still healing. And sometimes it's hard for me to find a comfortable spot. I normally jump around a lot anyway, but I may seem like I'm doing this a lot tonight. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is show you how to get rid of a green screen. So we'll share that and we'll make this big. Okay. These are just some clips that I have with obviously with green screens behind them. And I'll just play through these real quick. This is just a jet going through. All right.
Yep. Sorry.
So again, no sound or anything. And then I have a pirate flag, kind of a thread worn fired flag. Speed this up a little bit. Then I have a dragon. And then I have this guy here. This clip right here has some little oddities in it. It's very hard to see right at the moment, but you'll see when we get going. So let's get back to the beginning. The easiest way to do this is with what they call a 3D keyer. And how you get to that is come to here and you change this to all folders. This is your effects. Again, if it's not on, turn it on up at the top. Change this to all folders so that when you search through everything and not just all of these and not just what you have selected. And then you can just type in 3D space K and you have your 3D keyer. And that all you do is grab it and drag it over onto your clip. And now you see you have your little FX symbol there that tells you have an effect on it. I'm going to pull this over into the middle. Some stuff I have to do here. Go over in your inspector. Again, if the inspector's not on, turn it on. That's your video. And then this is your effects. You have your 3D keyer. So all you do is to help you out, you come over here and you turn on this Open FX Overlay. And then you come over here and you draw a line on your green. And it got rid of all the green. Now, what I want to do is I want to add the canopy in there. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit with my mouse wheel. And I'm going to add a stroke in here. And I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to go back up here and hit fit to get to there. And then to get rid of this green outline around everything, you just come over here and hit despill. And there he is. Canopy's all open so you can see through. I'm going to show you some stuff that I did with all of these when I get done. So now we're on to the pirate flag. We're going to do the exact same thing. This one's even easier. Put him there. Give him the stroke. Boom. Do the despill. Now you can really see how thread worn this flag is. And we'll jump over here and do the same thing with the dragon. Now you could, let me get rid of that for a second. You can see, whoops. You can see how this green background is slightly different from these others. This one's a little bit darker. So it even works with that because you're telling it to, hey, use this color. There. Despell, hey, right. Despell. Now we're going to move on to this one. This one looks like it's completely normal until you actually start to do something with it. So we'll do the same thing. We'll drop our 3D keyer on it. Mark this. Okay, what happened? Oh. What did I do? Oh, I think I had it on there twice. Anyway, operator error. Okay, now you see on this, there's a little spot up here. I want to try to get. You'll notice that when I did that, that color matched right here. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to tell it to just subtract this area right here. Now we should be good. Do our D-spill. Now we're good. I got one little spot right there. Let's see if we can. There we go. Good. So now we have all of our green is completely gone. And I have not been watching chat if anybody's had a question.
No, I answered it.
Okay. So now if we go through and scrub through this real quick so we don't have to watch it all, you can see that we don't have any of our green screen in the background, except that one.
Yeah. Yes, Nina. It's under the 3D keyer under the generators. Resolve FX key under the filters.
Yep. Just when you're in Davinci, come up here and change this to all folders so that you're not searching in just the one that you have selected, and then just type in 3D space K or just 3D, and it'll give you all of the ones that go there. All right, what is going on? Oh. All right, what am I doing? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Again, I'm going too fast. I'm trying to go too fast. I don't have this one selected. Okay. Definitely. Gotten way ahead of myself here. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk and work at the same time. Obviously, by how I'm screwing up here. Anyway, there we go. Back to where we were a few minutes ago. So sometimes this is what you'll do in Davinci when you don't really mean to. Sometimes you will have your playhead on one clip, but you have this other clip selected. See how it has the red box around it? That's what I had done. I moved my playhead over here, so I was viewing the dinosaur when I actually had the guy selected and this clip is selected. So what I was doing was working on that one. Anyway. So I'll change. This is some stuff that I just added to some of these. So this first one is the jet. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear this. So I'll just play these through. This just has a background and a jet sound and a beach and some pirate sound and a background I made out of these two things right here. Some dynamic zoom and then a roar and then some other stuff. So I'll just let this let us know if you can hear this or not. You should be able, like I said, this should have a jet sound in it. This just should have like pirate music in it and stuff. So we'll just let this. Actually, we'll let it go if I.
Yes, they can hear it.
I mean, that's me just playing around.
Desert. Look
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, look on the screen.
Yep. That's what I was getting ready to answer. Yes, I downloaded all of this stuff from different places. But all of what's there is free to use stuff.
Jan wants to know, where'd you get the music from, Ralph?
The pirate music came from actually the pirate music and the dinosaur roar came from Epidemic Sound. Now that is a paid subscription service. I don't know where I got the Desert Wind and the F-18 flyby from. That could have been from Pixabay. It could have been from Free Sounds. Some of the pictures and the sounds and stuff I have, it's stuff that I've collected over years of being online and stuff. I don't really know where I got a lot of it from. Excuse me. But that's how you do, that's the easiest way to get rid of a green screen background if you have that type of footage and stuff. Because there's all kinds of places where you can get stuff like this. We'll let you get rid of a green screen like that. But there's a couple different ways you can do it in Davinci, some in the studio version. But this is the easiest way to do it in either version. And me doing this in Davinci, you can do this in any video editor. There's nothing special I did here that you can't do. And I just, again, layered up a background picture and layered some music underneath that. That's all that is. But it just shows you that you can take something that really doesn't look like much and make it kind of cool without a lot of effort. So that is what I was going to show for Davinci. Because I was going to keep this kind of simple in case people had questions or wanted us to show some other stuff. I got a couple little things I can show for OBS and maybe an Evmux thing that I'm not sure people really realize that they can do or not. But, or I can, if anybody has a question about Davinci, I can go with that. Kind of wanted to leave it a little bit open tonight. Yeah, all the linear type video editors are all basically the same. They're all timeline based and they all basically work the same. Yep. Yeah, and that's why I say, use whatever video editor you want, you like. I like Davinci, so that's what I use. But again, use what you want, use what you like, use what you're familiar with. There's not one correct answer to the question of what's the best video editor to use. It's always a debate, but there's not an answer to that question. What you use, you're comfortable with, like it, does what you want it to do, then it works for you. Then it's good. Last stream you did with Evmux was through OBS. Yeah, there's so many different ways to get this OBS into that or that into this. Some of it's easy, some of it's not easy. And again, I don't think it's one of those things where there is one correct way to do it, because everybody's wanting, everybody wants to do something different with their stream. So it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I will say, if you want panels or you want guests, you pretty much have to use paid online service to make it work worth the flip. Yeah, we use both OBS, but what we're using in OBS is just the virtual camera part of it. So we're just using OBS as our camera, basically. But that gives us everything that we can do with OBS, like the background that I have, slideshow background. Now you can do that in Evmux too. Pretty much everything that I have up on this screen, I can do in Evmux as far as this stuff. Now, no, I can't do the little dragon that, moves to my voice and stuff like that on Evmux. But as far as everything else, you can do whatever you want. And again, if you can use both. The thing is, again, it depends on what you're doing with your stream. If you're going to do a stream where you're not going to have any guests up, where maybe you're just going to do a how-to video, or you're going to do a game video, or you're not going to have anybody up on panel, you don't even need to use Evmux. You can go straight through, use OBS and go OBS straight to YouTube or whatever platform you're going to. Okay. But if you're going to have a panel, like I said, you pretty much have to use one of the online services to make it. Just makes it easier. It makes it work, because when you try to do it yourself, you're putting a lot of load on your computer and on your internet too. Or when you're using an online service like Evmux, StreamYard, Restream, the list goes on and on. All of that networking and all of that stuff happens on their end, on their servers, in their data centers, or wherever they're renting their space from. So it takes a lot of load off of your local machine and puts it on, like all the network stuff, puts it on their servers. So it really helps. Like, if I doubt, like if Jerry tried to just go straight from OBS into YouTube, I don't know if he would be able to do it, because his internet is not strong enough to deal with it. But if he uses an online service, he doesn't have any problems with it most of the time. And that's just because of where he lives. He can't do anything about that. So he's got to deal with it. So again, if you don't have a good enough machine, or if you have really weak internet, you pretty much have to use an online service, because you just don't have the ability to physically do what you need to do. Not good, but it's just kind of the way it is. And again, all the online services, just have to try them all and use the one that you like the most. Again, not one, I hate to keep saying it, but there's not one correct answer to all of this stuff.
And we don't try to we show you what we use and what we think is the best, but that's our personal opinion. Okay. You can use whatever you like, whatever you feel comfortable with, and everything else. we are not sponsored by Evmux or OBS or anybody else. But when you have when you have questions or whatever, it's easier to come to somebody that knows the software and that's familiar with it and that knows how to answer questions. And that's one of the reasons we show you what we think's better, because EVMux is the only streaming service that I know of, that allows you to make layers like OBS. Okay. You can basically build this however you want to. Now, if you see a while ago, we had a border up. I can change the background just by clicking it like that because I had already set it
Yeah.
up. Or you can, change the border or put a border up like that. So it's different layers. The reason I took the border down is when he had that maximized, it was kind of in the way. So I just took the
Yeah.
border off so you could see it. So if that makes sense. And we right now are in the dynamic scene. Okay. With the pro scenes, you can go way more above and beyond. But with the dynamic scene, if someone's a new person or they just switch over from StreamYard or whatever, and they want the simplicity of StreamYard, stay in the dynamic scene,
Yeah.
because you can just click on the different formats like this, like StreamYard or EVMux. You can share screens the same. You can do all that just by staying in the basic, basic dynamic scene.
Yep.
If you want to have more expandability and more tools and everything else, then you can go create different pro scenes and you can do them however you want.
Yep. Now, I think there's some confusion with EVMux with the dynamic scene and the dynamic grid. Okay. The dynamic scene is a scene. Okay. It, again, think of StreamYard, think of Restream. It's that interface exactly. Okay. No extra stuff. I mean, yes, you can do backgrounds and stuff like that. You can't add the contest wheels and all the widgets and all that stuff. That goes in pro scenes. Now, I know what a lot of people don't like, or I won't say that they don't like it, but it's not something that they're interested in doing, is when you go to a pro scene, and what Eddie does is he brings in everybody by themselves. Okay. They are a layer by themselves. Okay. We can show. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
You can
if we
create a
sh-
whole new scene if you want. Show them
Yep.
how easy it is to create a new scene and freaking go through it that quick.
Yeah, but how do we get that up without getting there? Let's see if I
Just
can
add
do it.
yourself first so they can hear you.
No, no, just I don't want to get the infinity screen. Okay. So leave that over there. No, I'm not going to do this. Let's see. Let's gotta stop sharing that window and share this one, I think. Yep, there we go. Yeah, we're gonna get. That's what I was afraid of.
Yep, when we bigify it. So do you think we can go to a pro scene and not bigify it all the way? Would it still give the infinity? Oh, wait. Yeah, just move this over. That
No,
gives it
it's
too.
yeah, it does. There's no way around this. I was just trying to find one where I can make it at least. as I drag that over there, yep, it gets the infinity screen. Mhm. I do not know how to get rid of this.
With the infinity screen?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me try something real quick. I'll
Go
into
for it.
video mode to do it. Okay.
It's the same problem with OBS, if anybody's wondering.
Said you, and then we have the background color already there.
You get this screen step out mirroring thing because of what you're doing. You're basically telling it to mirror itself again and again and again and again.
Yeah, it's still going to give that the infinity. That may work. That may work right there, Ralph. You're going to get the infinity on the little one, but I think they can see it. You know what you're doing. Let me transition it over where we can see it.
No, it's really, if this is difficult to do, yes, it really is. Anyway. So back to where we were a few minutes ago. This dynamic grid. The dynamic grid is a smaller version of the dynamic scene. Here, let's go. Let's see. And I'm going to get rid of me too. Oops. Okay, just pretend like I'm not down there in the bottom corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a dynamic grid. Now, okay, so on this scene, this is a pro scene. All this scene has is a red background and a layer. For those of you in OBS that are familiar with OBS, a layer in Evmux is like a source in OBS. Okay, because that we always talk, Eddie and I always talk about how these pro scenes are like OBS. Okay, a pro scene, the scene that we're on right now, is just like a scene in OBS. Same thing, scene. In a scene in OBS, you put sources. In a scene in Evmux, you put layers. So when we're talking in Evmux, when we say we're adding a layer, it's just like adding a source in OBS. Same thing. Same idea, just different names. So one of the layers, sources that I was able to add onto this scene is called a dynamic grid. And what that is a small version of the dynamic scene. Now it works just like the dynamic scene. I can move us around. You can move me over here. I can make me big. I can make me small. Okay, I can also make this thing so that it's full screen so that when I go big, I go big. Now the advantage here is while this acts just like the dynamic scene, since I am working in a pro scene, I can add all the widgets, the wheels and everything else. So let's say I wanted to add the chat. That's a widget, and we'll add chat, and we'll add chat, and now there is the chat. Now I can take this dynamic scene and make it smaller and put it over here, but it's still all three of the windows. And I can still move us around and do all this stuff and make Eddie big and make Eddie small and stuff like that.
Yes, you can add a virtual background to it.
Yes. Yeah. This is, again, just like a scene in OBS. Right now, this is just on this scene. This is branded to have the marine red color in the background there. So you see, I created the scene, and I added the chat and did all that stuff. And like I said, I'm not having to add us one by one. If somebody were to come in here and add, join the chat or whatever, they would just come up just like it would in the dynamic scene. The only thing that this does not do that the dynamic scene does, if you highlight a chat, it won't move everybody up. But this is an easy way to get from working with just the dynamic scene into working with more of the pro scenes, the OBS type of stuff, kind of intermediary, where you don't have to worry about pulling every person in by themselves. You can still do all that stuff, but yet you can still add all the little things and, all the little fun stuff, the wheels and the chat and all that stuff into this. And then as you get better at it, then you can go to doing what Eddie does, where he brings everybody in and resizes them in studio mode and does it like that. But this is a really good way to get in between the two.
Yeah, see,
then go ahead.
In the pro scenes, if you bring them up, not if you don't bring a dynamic scene up, if you bring a pro scene up and you bring each individual up into it, there are where you can change the shapes and spin them around and do a whole bunch of things too. Like, I can't do it in a dynamic scene like we're in now, but if we were in a pro scene, hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead and swap over.
Okay, well, I think we're still in dynamic on this one. There. Okay, this is a pro scene. Okay, so I'm not using studio mode, but I can take me and make myself a circular avatar, or make him a rectangular avatar or a square avatar, and I can rotate or resize or do whatever I want to here.
Yep.
So this is a pro scene that you can add people and just have fun doing whatever you want to do, customize it however you want to do it.
Yep.
Or anything like that.
Now here's something I was going to show, I think you, Eddie, and everybody else. Excuse me. I think I can do this. I can. Eddie, can you see what I'm doing? Can you see that I've right-clicked on me? Okay.
No.
They can't see it either. Okay. One of the things that I've noticed that you guys do a lot is, like, when somebody comes up, and you remove them from the scene, and gets rid of their window and everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. So on either one on your screen, on your interface, right click on either one of us.
Okay.
Okay. About halfway down, it says replace editor.
Yep.
Okay. If this was a normal guest, it would say replace guest. If you click that, you should get a list. Yeah.
Okay.
You should get a list.
Over to the left, yeah.
Of like all your now on here, I don't know if we've had any guests, and this is something that since I haven't been online much, I don't really know. But you should get a list of guests. Like, I think if you do this, like on your live, yours and Gary's, where you've had a bunch of guests on, because I don't think we've ever had a guest on here. So I think it would list them there, and you could just change it in change me to that person. So swap me into that window. So that way you can.
Huh. It just swapped us.
Well, that's because we're the only two on here.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Okay, because what I did on my side on my studio, I connected all my other PCs and just logged in and had a bunch of different, like people just I did the invite and just who joined like I was a guest. And I had a list of all my other PCs as I joined that I could swap that person to. So instead of getting rid of the window every time and redoing it, you can leave the windows there and just swap people in and out of the windows. If I'm making sense at all.
you are, yes. Kind of. But here's the thing. If they leave or whatever, is it just going to have the blank there? So what would you do? Just use the eyeball
Use
to
the
hide that
eyeball.
for use the eyeball to
Yeah.
hide it for then? Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So like you could create like you were talking about like I'm a circle right now. You could create a layout with you in a circle up in the corner and then all of your guests, in squares. Yeah, you could do that probably.
I did that. I put, that's what Jan's talking about.
Oh,
On
okay.
Gary's live, I made like two people circles and used them as the tires. I made somebody
Oh yeah,
rectangular.
that one. Oh yeah. Yeah. I thought you had it like a car mask so that their shape would be a car, which I actually think you can do. But anyway, that's ahead of ourselves here.
So you can annoy Belt Loop 29.
Yep. But see that's the fun with some of this stuff is just being creative and that's just having a good time with it and just seeing what you can come up with, seeing how silly you can get sometimes. I do the same thing in Davinci sometimes, or just with this, just what silliness can I come up with now? But again, it's up to you. But again, back to that's the versatility of Evmux. If you wanted to be simple and just use the dynamic scene and just learn how you don't have to use the other stuff, it's there when you want to. And then when you want to get to a pro scene, but you don't want to have to deal with doing, individual feeds for each person, pull in the dynamic scene and work with that and learn how to use that.
Desert Living says, where do you save your guests? Are they saved as speakers?
No, and this is kind of a little bit of the confusing part about Evmux. It saved them as guests. There's no guest list or anything like that. So that's why I'm not really quite sure because I wasn't really live. I was just like inside my own little network here, just copied the link and walked over to my other PC and pulled up a browser source and, pulled up a browser and typed it in there and joined that way. But it's no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mr. Get It Right says, I don't know how you guys do this. Kudos. What are you what are you not sure on what we're doing, Mr. Get It Right? I'm trying to catch up with chat now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just what Gary said right there. Learn one thing at a time. Learn how to work in the dynamic scene, then do a pro scene with the dynamic grid pulled into it so that you're at least familiar on how to move things around and stuff, and then progress. I didn't learn all this stuff, not that I know everything or even close to it. I didn't learn all this stuff in just a couple of times. It's taken me a long time to figure out some of this stuff. And I'm wrong as much as I'm right most of the time. So I'm just another user like you. Yeah, I'm good with PCs and stuff, but I'm just another guy like you who likes to play with this stuff and learn things.
If you have any questions, just ask. We'll be happy to help to answer them.
Yeah. Where we at? I might disappear here for a second. I'll be back.
All right.
Yep. Okay. Tells me I don't want to do that way.
No problem, Ranger Army Mom. Oh yeah, Jerry. Use mine and Ralph's to talk to Gary and say, "Okay, Gary, I'm in our chat," instead of texting him. Oh yeah, tonight we
I
had
guess I
fun.
could do that.
Tonight we had fun at Windstone Chronicles 100,000 giveaway. He was giving away $100 Amazon gift cards, $50 Amazon gift cards. Jamie actually won a knife set, and then Jerry won the AI glasses.
Oh, let's see.
All right, Jan. Well, you still got 30 minutes because they don't go live until 8:30. So whatever, Jan.
Yep. Please. Okay. Let's jump here. Stop here.
Hey, there's a guest right there that's offline. I wonder if you can switch it over there. That's your shared screen.
That. Okay, this is two of me. Oh, that's scary. Good. This is my OBS that I'm using right now as my camera. You see, I have no audio coming in here whatsoever. I'm bringing my audio in through Wavelink into Evmux. So I have no audio coming in here right at all. Anyway, I was going to show you how to do some scripts. You can do scripting with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. I keep my scripts. You don't have to keep them in any one particular place. This one is going to allow me to add a clock onto my screen.
Desert Living wants to know, Scripts is a plugin, question mark?
It's not a plugin. It's a Lua script. Lua. It's a Lua script. OBS can use Python scripts or it can use Lua scripts. It's just Lua is another scripting programming language. So at least with that idea, anyway. So this is the script, and what it wants is a source. Now I have two text sources that I put on here. This is going to be a countdown timer, so I want this one to come into text. If I pull up text one, it's just a text box. It's white, has no text in it whatsoever right at the moment. So scripts. I'm going to tell this to go into text one. I'm going to make a separator as a space, dash, dash, space, just because I know I want to do that. And I'm going to just add what I want it to show. And then I have a nice little clock on my screen. And you can add up to 5 different clocks. You need a source for each one, and you can change the way it looks. Closer to what we are used to. So again, if you wanted a clock on your OBS screen, there you go. Just with a script. Simple stuff. So I'll turn him off. Now I'll add another script. This one is a stopwatch. This one is very powerful. And I'll show you where to grab these scripts down here. Okay, this is the advanced timer. This can do all kinds of neat stuff. You can use it as a count up or a countdown timer. It becomes very useful for like an opening, like a countdown timer. And then when it ends, it automatically switches to a new scene, a different scene or something like that. So this one, I'm going to use my text countdown. And I'm going to give him, I'll give him 15 seconds. Right here, I'm going to say no split seconds. That's what it looks like right now. So timer activation, this is what's going to trigger the timer to go off. And I'm just going to say when I turn this source on, when I make this source visible, start the timer. That's what that's telling that to do. Timer reset, I'm going to set to auto, which means it's just going to reset when it gets done. And all this other stuff, I will just leave there where it is. So let's see. Tell it. Time expire event. I want it to swap over to this scene. So right now we're on, in my OBS, we are on my main scene. So it's going to swap over to this scene when it gets done. I'll close it. Off. Turn him on. He should start counting down. When he gets done, we should switch over to the other scene. Hopefully the other scene works. Good. But you never know what I may have been doing. Yep, and there we are on that scene. So it got done and switched. So you can build a whole scene of countdown with whatever you want to build on it. And there it is. That's basically how you do it. And it went auto reset, turned itself off. If I turn it on again, start. Oops. If I do it in the right spot, it will. And again, since this is a text box, you can put it wherever. I do not know the answer to that one. Don't do much job scripting. So now we're over into that scene. So come back over here. So there's lots of scripts. You can find scripts. Me. This is the clock. This is in OBS, so I guess you could replay and grab that real quick. But if you go to OBS and you can find these are in scripts. And then this is the stopwatch. And you just go to download and download them. Bunches of versions of this. He's got a bunch of different things here. But plugins. So go to OBS Project Forum plugins. This is where all the plugins and scripts. So if you come to scripts, all these scripts are under scripts. So if you go to scripts, you see Lua scripts, and then you'll see Python scripts. And I have not really looked at these scripts. They're just, if you know how to do pretty much any kind of coding, it'll look familiar to you. And there's all kinds of stuff to do things here. So same thing with the plugins and stuff. There's just all kinds of stuff you can find to do plugins with. These are the plugins that I have installed, which is a good bit, but not a whole lot. And I mean, right now, I don't have any of these in use right at the moment on the scene I'm on. But that's how there, again, find script for what you want. Doing scrolling text. Okay. That's easy to do here too. Let me just back on. Let me get rid of that. So if you want to get rid of one, you just come back in here and delete it. And he left his time in there. Okay, I'll just leave the time in there. So let's say I want to scroll that. I can make the time scroll. So I just go to filters and go plus, go scroll, and I do add. And make him go either direction. That way, and down. So I can make him go at an angle. That's a, oops. You don't do that. Metal. That's how you make text scroll. That's all there is to it. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. And that scroll filter is part of the base OBS. That comes with OBS. That's not an extra one that you have to download. Don't think, no. So you got some Davinci stuff, you got some Evmux stuff, and you got some OBS stuff. Getting it all tonight.
Anybody got any questions? If you do, ask now.
Yep. Or send me an email, or send Eddie an email, or whatever. Yeah, you'll have to try that swapping somebody out on one of your lives.
Yeah.
Or maybe in Gary's. I don't know.
Can I swap
Wherever
Gary, can I swap Gary out? Can I swap Gary out for somebody?
I don't know. I know.
Is it like picking a team, you know? Gary's up there. Oh, I choose them instead.
Get out of here. Yeah, you could, I guess. But like I said, that'll say, if it's a guest, it'll say swap out guest. No, I don't I would assume that you could swap out an editor for a guest. I don't know. Maybe you can only swap. I wasn't able to test that part of it.
Well, I've been trying to while we're waiting or anything. Jerry said, "No, you cannot." Uh, I've been watching or trying to watch some of the Olympics today, and they've been playing the same game over and over and over or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I know USA women's hockey beat Finland, and I know that the American snowboarder came in fourth. Now there's Sweden and Italy women's playing hockey, but that's about all I've gotten. I haven't gotten a whole lot more. But
There
see,
hasn't been much on today. I watch the Olympics a lot, so
see, I love the Olympics because of the.
I do too.
Gary said question mark. I have to hear that through the grapevine. uh, Nina said, I will do some testing tomorrow with it. I will email you, Ralph, with questions.
That'll work.
Not a problem, Nina. But, I've always, just because the way I was brought up, okay, I don't care what game or sport or whatever else it is, it's the Olympics, and I'm going for, the USA and stuff, okay? My son today, I asked him, my son's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm like, I thought I brought you up better than that. He said, I'm more impressed with what a political figure did with whatever than the Olympics or whatever. I'm like,
yep.
Come on, man.
Take a break for a couple of weeks and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it happens once every 2 years, but the Winter Olympics once every 4, and Summer Olympics
yep.
once every 4. But I mean, I don't care if it's curling, ice skating. If it's a freaking sport and they're competing against another country, I'm going for USA. And
I am too. But I enjoy watching the different sports.
Yeah,
like Nordic skiing. Cross country skiing. Unless you've done it, you're not into it and everything. But again, these are the top.
It ain't something that you see all the time either, though. How often do you see curling on TV?
Yeah, never.
You're like trying to figure out the rules and who's winning and everything else.
What's going? Well, that to me, that's what's interesting to me, is to see the different sports and to try to figure out what the heck is going on and stuff. And I've always been that way with sport, and even the Summer Olympics. Even though we're much more familiar with that type of sports, there's still sports there that it's like, what the heck is that, or whatever. But yeah, I've always enjoyed watching the Olympics. It's just interesting to me.
It's every 2 years because like right now 2026 is Winter Olympics, and then in 2028, 2 years from now, will be Summer Olympics. So that's how they rotate it and stuff. But still,
the Winter and Summer Olympics are every 4 years, but they've staggered it now so they don't end up in the same. Yeah, they used to end up in the same year, so it's just like ridiculous money wise and stuff. So, but yeah, we're not. Actually, the game, they've been going on for a couple days before the opening ceremonies, because the U.S. women hockey team played Chechnya or somebody the other day.
When did it start?
The opening ceremonies were yesterday, but there's been some events that start actually before the opening ceremonies happen,
it's like
because
they qualify. So many.
It's just like the women's hockey team they're in their qualifying round, so they to get the tournament in, they got to start before the Olympics actually start to get everything in. There's
out of freaking 150, 200 countries or whatever. They get
plus
down to the best ones.
The men's teams are using the same ice, so you've got a lot of people trying to use a small amount of ice to do stuff with. So,
and then we have the Super Bowl tomorrow, which my team or Ralph's team's not in, but I hate the Patriots, my second least favorite team. So go Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going for the Seahawks too.
That's how it is. You got Dez and Simon and all these people going for, with their bandwagoners. They don't care
Yeah.
about the Patriots or anything else. And, all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl and everybody's a fan now.
Yep. You're a fan, you're
And
a
Desert
fan.
Living and Nina too. And Nina too. Nina should be
Yeah.
for the Arizona Cardinals. That's who you should vote for. Or the Los Angeles Rams, or because she's in Arizona. Or no, she's in California, both places. Okay, the Rams.
Yep.
Or
Yeah, but she's from New England, so
I don't care how long she lived there for.
she's just confused. She doesn't know what she's doing.
I don't care.
I'm the one that should be confused as many places as I've lived.
Okay, Simon's not from New England. He's from
Yeah.
San Antonio. Yeah, and he wore Cowboys gear before, but now that the Cowboys are out of it, he's going to Patriots, Bandwagoner. Yes, I can. Barbecue's a bandwagoner. And Dez has lived more of her life in Florida, and she's born in Florida than she has in Massachusetts or wherever. So, come on. Make that make sense.
Yep. It's just like the Olympics and
She says I like the Chargers.
Just like I always go for the U.S. in the Olympics and stuff, or whatever the U.S. is playing in.
Yeah, exactly.
I always go for. I was not born in Atlanta, but I grew up here. We moved here when I was 2, so I don't remember anything but growing up here. So this is my hometown. So even though I don't follow basketball very closely, I want the Hawks to do well. I want the Falcons to do well. Wishful thinking. I want the Braves to do. I want all my hometown teams to do good. So
exactly, me too.
I'm always going to root for my hometown teams, no matter what. And that doesn't mean that there aren't other teams out there that I like. I am a Broncos fan. I went to tech school in Denver. My tech school was almost a year long. So, and we used to usher at the game. So, that's really when I learned what a true fan was about, because that's back when the Broncos were really bad. And
I am such a diehard Houston fan. Okay, I love the Oilers. I was born an Oiler. I'll die a Texan. Okay, because, and I hate Tennessee. It's my least favorite team, the Tennessee Titans, because Bud Adams moved the Houston Oilers from Houston to Tennessee. So, and then the Patriots are right behind that, because they're Belichick and Brady and their big heads and they're cheating, and with the hey, Nicole, and I love the Astros, Nicole. So, I mean, I'm an Astros fan too, and a Rockets fan. But the thing is here, okay, if the Texans are not playing the Browns, I'm a Browns fan, because here's the reason why. My buddy that I was in the Marine Corps with, he's a Browns fan. He's from Ohio. He lives in Ohio and stuff like that. But the Browns and the Texans are very similar. We've never won a Super Bowl. We've had our teams move away from us, even though Browns kept the name and everything else. So I'm not a Baltimore Ravens hater there, Winstone. Unless they're playing the Texans, and I hate them. Night, Winstone.
Yeah.
But that's me. I'm kind of for the underdog most of the time. Most all the time I'm for the underdog.
Yeah, it's always good to root for an underdog,
because I've been an underdog my whole life. And unless that oh, never mind, Jerry's here. I was gonna say, unless that underdog's like Kansas City, Titans, Patriots, Kansas City, they've had their time in the shine. They've had their glory days and everything else. Let's get some other teams going on here.
Yeah. I'm not so unhappy that actually the Patriots made it, because other than Kraft, there's really none of those guys still around and everything. But that's the only reason I really don't want them to win, is because ownership is still the same. But the guys that are there now, they have nothing to do with what was going on before. So, but
Hey, Linda.
just like you were talking about, all the cheating and all the stuff that went on, it's just
Yeah, and they've had
that's
what they've
not
had a
who I want to support.
they've had a dynasty, man. They've had their time, you know. Okay, maybe
Yep.
it's time for the Cowboys to come back. They used to be America's team. They were good, you know. They've won what 5 Super Bowls or something. But the thing is they haven't been legitimate for 30 years. So you know they're now to where okay, you know, you can see the Cowboys win again.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys are one of those global brands. Even people who don't know the NFL, if you say the Cowboys, that's a recognizable team. There's certain brands that are just recognized throughout the world.
I'll tell you this though,
But
I'm not a big Jerry Jones fan though. Never have been. I mean, he's a smart businessman, but I don't like what he did to Tom Landry. I don't like what he did to Jimmy Johnson. He
yeah,
should have named a general manager instead of being the owner and general manager. I mean, I'm not a big, huge fan of Jerry Jones. Not to say he's not a smart businessman or anything else, but I mean, now he's way up there in age, dude. Come on,
yep.
man. Hire a general
Yeah,
manager.
yeah.
You're
Let the
still the owner.
football
You
people.
still
Yeah,
got final say. I mean,
yep. Let the football people do the football stuff.
Winston said Cowboys can't win the lottery if they bought the only ticket. uh,
You guess.
oh yeah, you did hear that Sonny Jorgensen died, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Used to watch him when I was a kid.
Hey Wanda,
Lately.
thanks for coming in. Linda. Yeah, but I
Yep.
guess you know nobody has questions, so we're just BSing now.
Yep. I remember watching the very first Super Bowl with my dad.
I think that was
Well,
before my time.
yeah. Dating myself slightly here. Yep. I remember the very first one.
Now, Buffalo's another team I'm really not particularly high on because when Oilers went to the AFC Championship, they kept us from the Super Bowl. I remember that. And I remember Earl Campbell, but
Yeah, I like Buffalo when oh gosh, brain fart. Who was their quarterback when they went to the 4 Super Bowls and never won one?
um,
Oh gosh. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Oh well. I'd like to see them win one. Just they can say they won one since they went 4 times and didn't make it. As soon as you say it, it'll come right
Jim
back in my
Kelly.
head.
Jim Kelly.
Yes, Jim Kelly.
Yeah, that's way back.
Yeah.
91,
Ah,
92,
I'm
93,
old.
94. Yep.
I'm old.
I remember Jim Kelly though.
I said, every time you guys start talking about how old you guys are, I just sit here and laugh. It's like I'm older than all you guys.
But see, I was in the Marine Corps then too. And they went to 3 or 4 consecutive 91, 92, 93, and 94. They lost to the New York Giants, they lost to the Washington Redskins, they lost to the Dallas Cowboys, and they lost to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. Hey, Falcons have been twice and lost twice. I think they'll ever win one.
Ain't Seattle? No, it's not Seattle. It's Philly, ain't it? Philly's the people with the really, really rude fans that always cause trouble.
Yep.
So did I, Winstone.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate it. I'm glad Jamie won.
Yeah, there's more to that Santa Claus story than meets the eye. So
Well, they've thrown rocks at people. They've thrown. I mean,
yeah,
they get violent there.
Yeah, they do.
Like they get.
That's another place that I lived for a couple years. It's truly one of the only places I've lived that I truly hated. No, it wasn't Philadelphia directly. It was Westchester. So I don't know, but I didn't enjoy the Philadelphia area at all. One of the few places I've lived that I just truly did not like. Not saying that everybody I met there was a jerk, but most of the people were not very.
Jan, I want to thank you for the super chat for our anniversary tonight for Jamie. And if y'all are in chat, go ahead and type right now because we got about 2 minutes before Two Dudes Give Clues comes on with Gary and Jerry. And I hope that Gary set up the redirect, but if he didn't, go to Gary's Belt Loop 29 or Jerry's Butler Family Farm 2005. Go to their channel and watch them. I would like to thank the participants, everybody that came in and contributed in any way with questions or comments or anything. And we have another time, Linda, Arlene, Beverly Moffett, Butler Family Farm, Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline, Desert Living, Devil Dogs Keeper, M. Buglet, Marines and Army Mom. Somebody just dropped off. Mr. Get It Right, Nicole Ruiz. Outdoors with Big Matt. Somebody's been a member for something, but I think that's what just went off. Hold on a second. Desert Living has become a member. Thank you very much. Oh, three months of membership.
3 months, yeah.
Mr. Get It Right, Outdoors with Big Matt, my BFW, Quentin Nelson, Lance at Sleeper Barbecue Grills to Gills, Wanda 3062, Slice of Pie, and Windstone Chronicles. Want to thank everybody for coming in and supporting us. I will be back next week at 7 Central Time with Day with the Dog. We do this Tech Talk with Eddie and Ralph the first Saturday of every month. So if you have any questions, tune in or email me or Ralph.
Yep. Just
Ralph,
send us whatever questions you might have. So,
and so
hope everybody has a good week and all that good stuff.
Until next time, thanks for coming in. See you then. Semper Fi, Devil Dog out, and my flyboy friend, Ralph.
See ya.